So what are we doing today, Ron?
My favorite thing ever.
Working on monster truck tires. It's Ron's favorite. So those freaking things in there where the flanges bolt together were seeping like mad at the last show. Which happened to be our second show. So it made 2 shows before we had to redo what we did. So I got a different kind of silicone this time, and we're gonna do a little different approach because we're tired of tires and rims leaking. That was the point of putting Firestones on, was to start fresh, because our 6-ply Goodyears were leaking like crazy last year on the front. And now we got Firestones that the rims are leaking on, which is dumb. We drug the old truck out of the hauler, still missing 1 shock. Still got a little body damage right here. Man, we just can't have that, you know?
You're supposed to not show that, so Waters and Andy can't make fun of you.
Yeah, well, it'll happen anyhow. So here's the shock from South Bend. Hinge joint is broke off in the end of it right here. That was really the thing that did stuff, and then it blew a bunch of fluid out of right here, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but we're going to investigate that. So I'm just trying to make a mess.
I'm just showing you where it's coming.
See, it's drippy, drippy, drippy. So something's going on there. I think we're going to rejuvenate this shock, stick it back on for this weekend, get our new shocks ready. So we got a 2-week break here when Ron's going to be running Merica. Hopefully I get time to maybe get the new shocks together and throw it on this or something, but we're going to keep sending it till then. So as you see, I welded a nut on the end of the shock shaft there to the hinge joint that was broke off. I welded a fender washer on it first, so it made sure I didn't weld the end of the shaft. And now, yeah, I got a nut tacked on it. It ain't pretty, but it's backing out. That's how you get a broken bolt out if you can't. I had it moving with the chisel, but I just couldn't get it to come out. So this is how you get a broken bolt out if you got a welder. I have a spare shock. This is an 18-inch CNC overtime shock. I come up with a pair of these on a really good deal. I was going to use them for like a ride truck or mega truck build, but they got all the parts I need on them, so they're going to be spare parts for right now, and then we can always put them back together. Everything is the same, minus the cans are shorter and the shafts are shorter, so I can use like shims, pistons, any external stuff off of it. I'm going to use the hinge joint right now, and then since this shock is leaking up here, this fitting, I'm going to take it apart and see what we got there. The best I can tell, nothing here is broke. This end cap is beat up, as you see. Like, yeah, it's not nice. So, it is what it is. I'm going to take this cap off. I'm actually going to go watch my video of, yeah, when we did shocks with Mike Waters, so I can refresh my memory on what I got to do here. And then I'm going to take this off, check everything out in there, make sure I don't have a seal tore or anything, and then shock will be ready to go. So, when I got back from helping Andy Hoffman the other day, I don't know, got an itch, I guess, and I welded up a new tie rod for this front, because this tie rod's always been kind of bent and wonky, and I just don't like it, Ron.
If you have an itch, you should probably see a doctor.
Yes. So here's the new tie rod right here. It's painted. I got to put the ends in it, and we got to throw her on there, but look at that, that's pretty. Then we got to tear Merica's engine, the 12 valve apart, and see the destruction at some point here. So
I'm very curious about that.
I am
see
too.
What JH did to her.
Yes, JH Diesel. You
Yes.
got to, don't let him drive your stuff.
Yeah.
So a little update on the American Outlaw here in the background. I've been working on it a little here and there between other things that have been going on in life. I worked on the valve body and the transmission. So I got the automatic valve body back from Garin Transmission. They're out of St. Lucas, Iowa. That company is awesome. They have a valve body dyno. We sent our automatic valve body that was in the training when we burned it up last fall up to them. They figured out whatever the issue was, sent it back. In the meantime, I had a full manual valve body in it. Now I got an automatic shifted valve body in it again, so that's cool. This thing will be a lot faster if I don't have to shift it, because I don't have to think about it. I just worked on flag mounts last year for the 4-wheel Jamboree before this thing was really even close to done per se. I hung flags on it in a hurry, and they were pretty much jimmy rigged mounts. So I got some mounts that I think I can go out and run it with. I welded some pieces of flat steel right up in there. And yeah, I think it'll work out. The flag mounts bolt to the back of it. These are really lightweight flag poles, so they'll bend if they hit the ground, but you want, instead of just snapping off. The company south of us that I found out makes all the Monster Jam sway bars, and we got a brand new sway bar. That's the one I took out of it after I broke it up at Hartford. Just had new ones made that were a little bit longer, and I just put that in the day that comes in this sweet packaging. So I got a spare one of those. That sway bar goes right here. And the sway bar is what keeps the truck set and level. So you adjust those tractor third links right there, and you can level the truck up. So this thing was a complete mother to get out here. I ended up torching below and above the Heims joint and just leaving the bolt in it. I'm gonna put that in the press. I don't probably ever trust that Heims joint again, except for a spare. But we got it off of there. If you notice, the old tie rod is just a little bit longer than the new tie rod. I shortened the new one up because this thing has always towed out to me, and I just don't like it. It don't show it as bad with the big tires, but with the toter tires, it always looked terrible. So I'm gonna put the toe in a little bit. I got the new tie rod on. I think I got my toe set in. I just need to tighten the bolts now. Let me know what you guys think. I really think that blue tie rod makes her pop. That just, you know, that makes her stand out. And it's straight. That's really cool. These fellers are back here working on Merica. The fabulous Ron took it over there to the Freedom Truck Meet, got on Greg A's channel, got that badass award. So we got the mad scientist that really put the effort into building this thing here, working on it, helping Ron out, trying to figure out what to do. He doesn't like our intake we threw on it right away, the old ATS intake. We're gonna do something different there. We're gonna put some more nitruses on it, do some tuning to it, and see what happens. But here, Ron, while you're here, I made these flag mounts much more solid now, so we can run the flags for racing and stuff, and parading around and stuff. So if we're gonna do a parade with it, I got your stand where you're gonna set, okay?
No.
Let me show you. So you get on up in here like this. I think this is gonna be really comfy for you, Ron. You just sit right here like this. The exhaust will be up there on the road, and you'll be waving at kids, throwing candy.
Yeah, I'm sure. I see no flaws to this whatsoever.
I think this is, I mean, this is dummy proof. That's what you need. Ron needs dummy proof.
Right.
This
I'm
is
not sitting up here through a parade.
Yes.
No.
That's all. I mean, that's what you got to do, Ron.
Yeah, this is fine, you know, on the toter tires. On the big tires, that's probably gonna be a little more of a challenge to get up here.
No, it isn't. The suspension is going to be identical. Imagine yourself going through a parade, waving at all the kids. That's what's going to happen, Ron. 4th of July, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's all happening.